coach, nail biting match. We got a point from it. How do you analyze it overall?
Like, I mean, of course, like when you play this type of games, it's always good to, you know, see the momentum comes to, you know, our team where one side is like, you know, we got exposed in every angle, whether it's a batting or whether it's bowling or whether it's fielding. We were challenged, so we got exposed in every little bit, like, you know, so it's all about, like, you know, fixing things for the next game. But getting this 1 point is so important for us moving forward, because this can be the difference in when we are finishing the table in about 10 months.
I want to start off with the batting. We made 3 changes, and all 3 changes used to be coming good in batting front. But what do you say about the death overs in batting?
I think we were looking 300 plus at the way we are going. So we couldn't finish the way we want. But a lot of credit to the USA bowlers, how they came back and how they bowled the depth overs. And I know that they are mainly, like, you know, some of these guys are well-known T20 bowlers. But they executed their plans pretty well. And we didn't like, you know, adjust to those things. Like, you know, our plan was at the last 5-6 overs, we wanted to get run a ball rather than looking for 8-10 runs. But we got a bit of panic, and we were still looking for big shots, and because of that we gave lots of drop balls, and we couldn't get where we want to.
Once again, our top order started the innings, but they couldn't turn it to the big score. So what do you think is lacking in there?
I think that, like, you know, we still, I mean, there's a young group still, like, you know, there's a long way to go. We are still around 23-24 average age, but we batters need to learn to convert these 40s, 50s into big runs. I think the way USA batted, like, you know, Taylor getting 100 is a big thing, and then even Monarch was, you know, getting a big 50. That was a different, actually. And even, like, you know, when we take Dave Khanal, like, you know, he batted so well, and he had enough overs to get 100, and he was, like, looking tired, and he threw the game away at one point. So it's all learnings for us, and these youngsters are, like, you know, doing well. I will not take anything out of the good things that they have done, but it's just not, they need to learn the next level.
Posting 274 in total, so we had 200 run partnership against us. So do you think our bowling is still lacking, looking at previous performance also?
Yeah, we still need to get better. I mean, we depend too much on Sandeep, and, you know, Karan always comes and do his job. But still, for us to do well in this tournament, the rest of the games, like, you know, our left-arm spinners has to come through. So I'm looking forward, like, you know, for the next 2 games to get those things right.
So we saw from the dressing room that you and your assistant coaches have been crying out over after over regarding the field placement, ball changes. So do you think Sandeep has not been able to cope with the pressure until now?
Sandeep is learning as a captain. He's also young. I mean, he has done pretty well so far, but then still he's a bit behind on when it comes to the T20 versus 50 over. He's a guy who is always attacking and looking for things, immediate things. So he just needs to be adjusted into the longer version. But he's in the right track. It's just a matter of time. He will get there.
Do you think the fact he's young is hampering or affecting in his decision-making process inside the field?
I think if you take he's the best choice that we have. So we had to work with him. And team is young, captain is young, so it's only can improve from here.
Coach, as you said, Coach, as you said about Dev Khanal, is he celebrate too early when he scored the 50 like celebration?
I mean, he's a young guy. First, I mean, not the first ODI 50, but first 50 in this league, and he's always excited to, you know, to pass the 50. But I just want them to get more hunger. Like, you know, this 50 is like one inning is just like, it's just an inning. He should be looking to bat through. He is in very. I mean, I would say he's in the right track. He's a very, like, a guy who thinks pretty well. His mind is good. Technique is good. So he has a great future for Nepal.
Is there any injury concern?
I'm sorry?
Is there any injury concern in Nepali camp?
Yeah, few injuries are still there, and even the heat has got into us. We are struggling bit of conditions but that we are happy. We have two more days to go for the next game, so I'm sure that we will put the best team out for the next game after recovering next 2 days.
2 questions from me, Coach. One about the ending and one about Stephen Taylor. The ending, I asked the same question to Sandy Amichani. One, it needed to win off 2 balls for USA. There was a chat about whether to put a man on the boundary or to bring everybody into the circle. Ultimately, man on the boundary wound up paying off. What went into the decision-making process for that to happen from your perspective?
At the end, we saw a bit of knowing Stephen Taylor also, he wants to finish the game a bit early. So we were fully aware that he's looking for these big shots, means looking for boundaries. So there was a discussion a few times whether to have the field inside or the boundary.
But I'm talking about the very last 2 balls when it was Aaron Jones on strike with 1 run to win off 2 balls. You could have brought everybody in with the scores level just to cut off the single. Instead, you kept the one guy out. What was behind that?
No, I think the plan was for Adil to bowl fuller and straight. So we anticipated that it can be, there can be a low full toss. So we wanted the squalic, outside the 30-yard circle, about 10 feet inside the boundary line. So it worked, and even the place that Rohit was standing, the catch was actually not going for him, but he anticipated. As soon as the ball was pitched up, he just ran forward, and he got the catch. So that was a turning point also to be in the tight position.
Stephen Taylor today, his first century in ODI cricket, but he scored one against Nepal when you were the coach the first time around in Bermuda, 3 centuries overall, and he just passed Steve Messiah today to become the all-time leading scorer for USA in limited overs cricket history. Significant achievement. You were in charge as USA coach for a long time during his time frame, moving up the run charts, whether it's as Nepal coach now or as a former USA coach. What stands out to you about Stephen Taylor and his place in USA cricket history?
Stephen was one of the best I think USA had, and he's still scoring runs. I still feel that he would have been he can contribute more actually if he gets his work ethics right. If he works a bit harder than he's doing now, he's the best batter, and the caliber that he has, he's capable of scoring against any bowling attack. I'm not talking about the batting tracks, but I've seen him even on hard tracks. When he wants to go, when he's in form, he gets through it. So I think it's a big asset for USA cricket, and I hope he will play more years for USA.
Coach, they say catches win matches, but we lost more than a couple of opportunities. So if we look at the later half of the inning where Rohit had that catch and then Karan's run out, so how do you evaluate overall Nepal's fielding effort today?
Overall, I'm disappointed about fielding. We always talk about we are fitter side, young side, so the fielding should be our strength. But when the game get tougher, I think these young players get into pressure, and we haven't really performed in key points, key time periods. So it's important for us to improve, and I'm personally as a coach, I'm disappointed. We wouldn't be in this situation if you have got hold of those catches, and those are not hard ones also. But I think end of the day it's all learning, and it's we are going to keep pushing to get better.